Did you know that? One of America's most iconic presidents started his career as a Hollywood heartthrob, captivating audiences long before he led the nation. Imagine a journey that starts with Hollywood fame, takes a political U-turn, survives a brush with death, and reshapes global politics forever. That's Ronald Reagan's life in a nutshell. From silver screen to political scene, Ronald Reagan's journey is a roller coaster ride of drama, ambition, and a dash of Hollywood flair. Buckle up for the story of a lifetime. Picture this: a young actor turned president, facing down the Soviet Union and surviving an assassin's bullet. Ronald Reagan's life isn't just history, it's the ultimate underdog tale with global consequences. In the golden age of cinema, amidst the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, a young man named Ronald Reagan dazzled the silver screen. His chiseled features and charismatic presence made him a beloved star, earning roles in over 50 films. Audiences adored his performances in hits like Newt Rockney, All-American, and King's Row, where his portrayal of the all-American hero captivated hearts nationwide. But beneath the surface of this Hollywood heartthrob was a man with grander ambitions. As the president of the Screen Actors Guild, Reagan navigated the treacherous waters of the Hollywood blacklist era, advocating for his fellow actors and emerging as a leader with a burgeoning political consciousness. This chapter of his life, filled with intrigue and ambition, was just the beginning of Reagan's epic journey from Tinseltown to the highest office in the land. The nation watched in surprise as Ronald Reagan, once a staunch Democrat, made a dramatic shift in political allegiance. This transformation wasn't born of whimsy, but from a deep-seated belief that the government's overreach stifled individual freedoms. His famous speech for Barry Goldwater in 1964, "A Time for Choosing," electrified conservatives and marked his emergence as a Republican force to be reckoned with. Reagan's switch was more than a political maneuver. It was a bold declaration of his vision for America. His charismatic oratory and conviction resonated with many who felt the country needed a new direction. This pivotal moment reshaped Reagan's career and set the stage for his eventual rise to the presidency, captivating the nation with the story of a man who dared to change course and challenge the status quo. When Ronald Reagan took office as governor of California in 1967, he faced a state mired in financial woes and social unrest. With characteristic determination, he implemented sweeping reforms, cutting government spending and cracking down on student protests at universities like Berkeley. His controversial measures sparked heated debates, drawing both praise and fierce opposition. Reagan's governorship was a proving ground for his political ideologies. His tough stance on law and order, combined with his efforts to balance the state budget, showcased his pragmatic approach to governance. These bold actions during his 2 terms as governor cemented his reputation as a decisive leader, setting the stage for his future presidential ambitions and intriguing a nation eager to see what he would do next. The election of Ronald Reagan to the presidency in 1980 heralded a new era in American economic policy. Reaganomics, as it came to be known, was a radical departure from the past, focusing on tax cuts, deregulation, and reducing government spending. Critics argued that these policies favored the wealthy, while supporters hailed them as the key to economic revival. Reagan's economic reforms sparked intense debate and transformed the American landscape. The country witnessed a period of significant growth, but also rising deficits and income inequality. The boldness of Reaganomics, with its promise of a trickle-down effect, kept the nation on edge, wondering whether this gamble would lead to prosperity or peril. It was a high-stakes economic experiment that defined an era and captured the imagination of a country seeking change. As the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan faced a world teetering on the brink of nuclear conflict. His approach to the Soviet Union was uncompromising, famously branding it the evil empire. This hardline stance was a sharp contrast to the detente of previous administrations and signaled a renewed vigor in the Cold War struggle. Reagan's strategy was not just one of confrontation, but also one of negotiation. His administration increased defense spending and launched initiatives like the Strategic Defense Initiative, aiming to protect the U.S. from nuclear missiles. These actions kept the world in suspense, wondering if Reagan's bold moves would provoke conflict or pave the way for peace. His tenure was marked by a high-stakes chess game with global implications, captivating a world audience with each strategic move. In a moment that would be etched in history, Ronald Reagan stood before the Berlin Wall on June 12, 1987, and issued a powerful challenge to Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. This bold declaration resonated worldwide, symbolizing the enduring struggle for freedom against communist oppression. Reagan's speech was more than rhetoric. It was a call to action that inspired millions living under the shadow of the Iron Curtain. The Berlin Wall, a stark symbol of division, seemed impregnable. Yet, Reagan's words ignited hope and accelerated the momentum toward its eventual fall in 1989. This epic moment demonstrated Reagan's belief in the power of freedom and his ability to galvanize change with his visionary leadership, leaving an indelible mark on history. March 30, 1981, began like any other day for President Ronald Reagan, but it would end in a harrowing brush with death. As he exited the Washington Hilton Hotel, shots rang out, and Reagan was struck by an assassin's bullet. The nation held its breath as he was rushed to the hospital, his life hanging in the balance. Reagan's remarkable resilience shone through in the face of this life-threatening ordeal. Even in the emergency room, his characteristic humor surfaced when he quipped to his wife, "Honey, I forgot to duck." The nation watched in as Reagan recovered with remarkable speed, his indomitable spirit inspiring millions. This dramatic episode underscored his courage and strengthened his bond with the American people, cementing his legacy as a leader who could withstand even the most dire challenges. In a bold and futuristic move, President Ronald Reagan unveiled the Strategic Defense Initiative (SDI) in 1983, a program designed to protect the United States from nuclear missile attacks. Dubbed Star Wars by critics, this ambitious plan envisioned a space-based missile defense system that would render nuclear weapons obsolete. The announcement of SDI was met with both awe and skepticism. Supporters saw it as a visionary leap forward, while detractors doubted its feasibility and feared it might escalate the arms race. This grand vision of a secure future kept the world on edge, pondering whether technology could indeed deliver such unprecedented protection. Reagan's Star Wars initiative was a testament to his willingness to push boundaries and dream big, sparking curiosity and debate around the globe. The Iran-Contra scandal of the mid-1980s erupted like a political firestorm, casting a dark shadow over Reagan's presidency. Senior officials secretly facilitated arms sales to Iran, violating an embargo, and diverted the proceeds to fund Contra rebels in Nicaragua. This clandestine operation was a direct affront to Congress, which had prohibited such support. When the scandal broke, it unleashed a torrent of controversy. Congressional hearings were held, and key figures were implicated. The scandal tested Reagan's leadership and the trust of the American people. Did he know about the illegal activities? Could he have stopped them? The intrigue surrounding the Iran-Contra affair captivated the nation, revealing the complex and often murky world of international politics and covert operations. In a nationwide campaign against drug abuse, President Reagan declared a war on drugs in the 1980s. This initiative aimed to curb the growing epidemic of drug use through stringent laws and harsh penalties. The slogan, "Just Say No," championed by First Lady Nancy Reagan, became a cultural touchstone. While the campaign was widely publicized and gained significant support, it also sparked controversy. Critics argued that the policies led to mass incarceration, disproportionately affecting minority communities and exacerbating social inequalities. The war on drugs was a complex battle with far-reaching consequences, highlighting the challenges of addressing substance abuse in America and sparking intense debate about the best path forward. In 1986, President Reagan spearheaded a historic tax overhaul with the Tax Reform Act, aiming to simplify the tax code and reduce the burden on American taxpayers. This comprehensive reform was designed to close loopholes, lower tax rates, and broaden the tax base, making the system more equitable. The tax overhaul was a significant legislative achievement, but not without its critics. Some argued that it disproportionately benefited the wealthy, while others praised its efforts to eliminate deductions and simplify the process. This bold move reshaped the economic landscape, leaving a lasting impact on the nation's fiscal policies and keeping the public engaged with its potential benefits and drawbacks. In October 1983, President Reagan ordered the invasion of Grenada, a small Caribbean island nation. The official reason was to protect American medical students after a coup had installed a Marxist government. The swift military action known as Operation Urgent Fury was controversial both domestically and internationally. Supporters saw it as a necessary step to prevent the spread of communism in the Western Hemisphere, while critics condemned it as an overreach of American power. The Grenada invasion was a dramatic and decisive action that underscored Reagan's commitment to combating communism. It was a high-stakes gamble that showcased his willingness to use military force to achieve strategic objectives, leaving the world watching with bated breath. In a series of historic summits with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, President Reagan engaged in crucial arms reduction talks that would pave the way for the end of the Cold War. These meetings, marked by both tension and cooperation, resulted in significant agreements like the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty (INF). The summits were a dramatic dance of diplomacy, with the world watching as two superpowers sought to bridge their ideological divide. Reagan's ability to build a rapport with Gorbachev and his willingness to negotiate marked a turning point in international relations. These epic encounters highlighted the possibility of peace through dialogue and mutual understanding, captivating global audiences and reshaping the future. On January 28, 1986, the nation was struck by tragedy as the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded shortly after launch, killing all 7 crew members on board. President Reagan's response to this disaster was a poignant speech that comforted a grieving nation and honored the bravery of the astronauts. Reagan's words, delivered with empathy and grace, resonated deeply with the American public. He spoke of the crew's dedication and the importance of continuing the quest for knowledge despite the risks. This emotional moment showcased Reagan's ability to connect with the American people during times of sorrow, providing solace and inspiring resilience in the face of adversity. The 1980s saw a significant economic upturn under President Reagan's leadership. His policies of tax cuts, deregulation, and increased defense spending contributed to a period of robust growth. The economy rebounded from the stagflation of the 1970s, creating jobs and boosting consumer confidence. However, this recovery was not without its critics. Rising deficits and growing income inequality sparked debates about the long-term sustainability of Reagan's policies. The economic revival of the 1980s was a complex and multifaceted story, showcasing both the benefits and challenges of Reaganomics and keeping the nation engaged in discussions about fiscal responsibility and economic justice. In a heartfelt letter to the American people on November 5, 1994, Ronald Reagan revealed that he had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. This disclosure, marked by Reagan's characteristic honesty and courage, brought the issue of Alzheimer's to the forefront of national consciousness. Reagan's revelation sparked widespread sympathy and raised awareness about the disease. His openness about his condition helped to reduce the stigma surrounding Alzheimer's and inspired efforts to find a cure. This poignant chapter in Reagan's life highlighted his enduring impact on public awareness and his willingness to face personal challenges with dignity and grace. Ronald Reagan's nickname, the Great Communicator, was well earned through his masterful oratory skills and charismatic public speaking. Whether addressing the nation in times of crisis or delivering inspiring speeches on freedom and democracy, Reagan had an unparalleled ability to connect with his audience. His speeches were more than just words. They were powerful narratives that resonated deeply with the American people. Reagan's communication style was a blend of sincerity, optimism, and conviction, making his messages memorable and impactful. His talent for storytelling and his ability to articulate his vision for America captivated the nation and solidified his legacy as one of the most effective communicators in presidential history. Before his political career, Ronald Reagan served as president of the Screen Actors Guild during the tumultuous Hollywood blacklist era. In this role, he defended actors accused of being communists, navigating a complex and dangerous political landscape. Reagan's leadership during this period showcased his ability to stand up for his principles and advocate for his peers. It was a time of great intrigue and fear, with careers and lives hanging in the balance. Reagan's actions during the blacklist era revealed his emerging political savvy and foreshadowed his future as a national leader, intriguing audiences with the story of a man who would not be intimidated. During his presidency, Ronald Reagan faced significant criticism for his environmental policies, which included rolling back regulations and cutting funding for the Environmental Protection Agency. These actions sparked controversy and debate over the balance between economic growth and environmental protection. Reagan's approach to environmental issues was driven by his belief in limited government and economic freedom. However, critics argued that his policies endangered natural resources and public health. This contentious aspect of Reagan's presidency highlighted the ongoing struggle to find sustainable solutions to environmental challenges and kept the nation engaged in a critical conversation about the future of the planet. Ronald Reagan's impact on American politics and ideology is profound and enduring. His presidency transformed the conservative movement, emphasizing individual freedom, limited government, and strong national defense. Reagan's vision for America inspired a generation and continues to influence political discourse today. Reagan's legacy is a testament to his ability to articulate a clear and compelling vision for the nation. His policies and leadership style left a lasting imprint on the Republican Party and American politics as a whole. The story of Ronald Reagan is one of a legacy built on conviction, communication, and a relentless pursuit of his ideals, captivating the nation and leaving a lasting mark on history. From Hollywood stardom to presidential greatness, Ronald Reagan's life is a testament to resilience, leadership, and the power of believing in oneself. His journey inspires us to dream big, stand firm in our principles, and never shy away from challenging the status quo. If you found Reagan's story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more captivating tales of history's most influential figures. Hit that bell icon so you never miss out on our next video. And as always, thank you for watching.